Today's tale recalls two curious events that took place during the life and ministry of Francesco Forgiani, or more commonly referred to as Padre Pio, who lived between 1887 and 1968, and who has since been venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church. I should point out that I am not a Catholic. I was raised as an evangelical Protestant, so I'm not personally familiar with many Catholic traditions and ideas surrounding things like ghosts and the afterlife. I'm not even sure that I believe in the notion of purgatory, but nevertheless, I found this story highly compelling. Pio was part of the religious community of Our Lady of Grace Capuchin Friary, located in the Gargano Mountains in San Giovanni Rotondo of Italy, in the province of Foggia. Surrounding the priest are many stories of miracles, healings, and even his having exhibited stigmata throughout his ministry. But what drew me to him were the various accounts of ghosts, or perhaps souls, who sought his help from purgatory, which, as far as I understand, is a state between heaven and hell, where saved souls endure temporal punishment for sins committed while they were still alive. It seems that during his life, Padre Pio attracted such souls, who sought prayer or ministry before they could move on to heaven. One such example of this occurred while in the friary on a winter evening. After a heavy snowfall, Padre Pio was sitting by the fireplace in the guest room, absorbed in prayer, when an old man suddenly appeared in the room with him. The man sat down beside the startled priest, who could not imagine how this fellow could have entered the friary at this time of night, since all the doors were locked. The padre questioned the man, asking, "Who are you? What do you want?" The old man answered the priest, "Padre Pio, I am Pietro di Moro, son of Nicola, nicknamed Precoco." He went on to describe how on the 18th of September 1908 he had been in cell number 4 of the friary, at a time when it was a poorhouse. While in bed, the old man had fallen asleep with a lighted cigar, which ignited the mattress, leading to the tragic death of Pietro, as he suffocated and was burned alive. The old man claimed that he was still in purgatory and needed a holy mass in order to be freed. Apparently, God permitted that he ask the padre for his help. Recounting the situation, Padre Pio said, "After listening to him, I replied, 'Rest assured that tomorrow I will celebrate Mass for your liberation.' I arose and accompanied him to the door of the friary so that he could leave. The door, of course, was closed and locked, a reminder that this stalled spirit had entered the room by means beyond the norm. I opened the door and bade him farewell," said Padre Pio. "The moon lit up the square covered with snow. When I no longer saw him in front of me, I was taken by a sense of fear, and I closed the door, re-entered the guest room, and felt faint." Astonishingly, only a few days later, the padre told his story to a colleague, Padre Paulino, and the two decided to go to the town hall, where they looked at the vital statistics for the year 1908, and found that sure enough, just as the poor soul had claimed, in the year 1908 on September the 18th, there had indeed been a man by the name of Pietro di Moro, who had died in the most unfortunate fashion of burns and asphyxiation in room number 4 of the friary, which was used at that time as a shelter for the homeless. Of course, this was not the only time the padre claimed to have seen such a person who was stuck in the unseen realm between here and heaven. On another evening, again absorbed in prayer, in the choir of the little church, he was shaken and disturbed by the sound of footsteps and candles and flower vases being moved on the main altar. The priest called out, "Who's there?" only to be answered with silence. He returned to his prayers until again he was disturbed by the very same noises, though this time he had the impression that one of the candles in front of the statue of Mary had fallen over. Padre Pio stood up and saw in the shadow of the light of the tabernacle lamp a young friar doing some cleaning. "What are you doing in the dark?" called the friar. The younger friar simply said, "I am cleaning." "You clean in the dark?" asked Padre Pio. "Who are you?" The young friar said, "I am a Capuchin novice who spends his time of purgatory here. I am in need of prayers." And with that he disappeared, leaving the padre alone. And yet he did not hesitate to begin praying for the departed friar's soul. These are just 2 stories to come from this remarkable man's life, and I intend to reveal more of the mysteries surrounding his ministry in future videos. Curiously, when the friar was old, he claimed that as many souls of the dead come up this road to the monastery as that of the souls of the living. Having grown up with differing traditions concerning the mechanics of the afterlife, I'm not sure what to make of these stories. I've often considered most, if not all, ghost occurrences to be related to demonic entities rather than the souls of the departed. But could I be wrong on this point? What are your thoughts? Can you relate in any way to the late Padre's encounters? Please share your stories with me by writing to tellyourtalehere@gmail.com or simply follow the link in the description below. And until next time, keep your loved ones in your prayers.